What's up, guys? On this week's show,
Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse / all the trailers.
Kelly Marie Tran.
And our show sucks?
Plus,
Dumb shit of the week.
All that and more on this episode
of One Giant Leap for Geeks.
That's one small step for man. One giant leap for
Geeks.
Welcome to another episode of OGLFG, where we talk about movies, video games, and all things in geek culture. I'm your host, Mike C. Squared. With me is my co-host, DJ Mellimo.
Hey!
Now, before we get started this week, I wanted to give a very special shout out to our friends over at Studio. They are makers of some of the best wireless headphones on the market, and we will talk more about them later in the show. But first, DJ Mellimo, I have an important announcement to make.
Okay.
This is going to be hard, so just bear with me. I got to gather my thoughts. We have our first hater. Our first hater. So, for those of you who may not know, we did an episode recently that I think may have garnered us some unhappy listeners, to say the least. I don't know why they would be upset about that. But we did an episode where we talked about, and this is going to be an ongoing thing. We're going to kind of pepper it through the later episodes, but we have been talking about why DJ Mellimo does not like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. And we started with Batman Begins, and on
As
the next
you should.
one, we'll do The Dark Knight, and then we'll eventually do The Dark Knight Rises. But it really bothered me because I don't want to have people listen to our show and be upset. So I tossed and turned all night. I kept waking up in cold sweats leading up to this, and it just wouldn't leave me. So I felt that I needed to address it. So I will do so now. We have 50 ratings on iTunes with about 27 reviews. 49 of those ratings are 5 stars. 1 is not. Dear anonymous iTunes user, you gave our show a 1-star rating, and we just want to know why. You didn't leave a review, so we don't have a way to know what your criticisms are. Is it the format of our show that you dislike? Maybe it's the topics we discuss. Perhaps the songs we use in the transitions? Is it our voices? Could it be you feel that we've sold out to sponsors? Is it the language? Did one of our opinions upset you? It was that Batman Begins episode, wasn't it? No matter why, we are sorry. Our goal here at One Giant Leap for Geeks is only to make the most enjoyable content possible. We just want to talk about movies, games, comics, and anime in a funny way that makes your face smile. We're just a couple of geeks who like pop culture, and we want to share it with you. So we want to apologize for whatever we may have done to incur your wrath, and we'll try to live up to your expectations if our paths ever meet again. Sincerely, Mike C. Squared and DJ Mellino of One Giant Leap for Geeks. Oh no, fuck off. Okay, so first off, so as you may have gathered, and this is news to DJ Mellimo, I kept this a secret from her. She didn't know anything about this until just now. So this is all, breaking news. But yeah, no, we got our first hater. Somebody was not pleased with something that we did, and they gave us a 1-star rating on iTunes. Like I said, every other review we've had has been positive. Every rating has been 5 stars. Now, don't get me wrong. I know we deserve 5 stars. You don't have to give us 5 stars. But one, really? I'm like, come on.
I can at least see maybe like 2.
No, not even
3.
2. I'm like, look, we don't have we have decent audio. It could be better, but we have decent audio.
For the most
Our
part.
content is fairly good. I think we're pretty funny. I mean, we try to be detailed and not go off on, tangents that they won't understand. Not to say we don't go off on tangents, because we do, but at least they're somewhat related to what we're talking about.
Sure.
We don't do a lot of inside jokes, and then when we do,
We
explain them. Yeah, so then they're a part of the joke as well. So yeah, that's why you are just a hater. Like, you will not get no kind of like, oh, well, I'm sorry. Like, hey, that shit was all just to be funny. Fuck off.
I was trying to hold back laughing.
Oh, no.
Because I didn't want to screw you up in what you were trying to say with your...
No, that was being sincere.
Your sincerity speech. Nice.
Yeah, man. I mean, look. I'll put it like this. Unless we just did something just like atrociously bad, if you are that unpleased with our shit, just don't rate my shit at all and just don't listen. I'm like, just ignore my shit and leave it at that. Like, don't blast me with negative fucking reviews for something that I said that may have pissed you off, or it could have been something you said. I want to assume it's something you said.
I'm sure that it was.
But surely we're 23 episodes in, I'm sure I've said something to piss somebody off a few times. So it could have very well had been me. Who knows? But eat a dick. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I'm like, you know what? Like, you take you and that 1 star, you go fuck off somewhere, because, yeah. But I'm not resentful, and I'm not, spiteful about it at all. It's cool.
No.
It's totally cool. You fucked up my streak, man. That's all I'm saying. I have 50. That was the 50th review, too. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. You ruined my fucking streak. But anyway, more will come, I'm sure, in time. But I was good. Now, so listeners, if you have not reviewed us on iTunes yet, get your ass over there. Give us another 5-star review so we can get that 55 stars and get that one star out of my 50. But anyway, moving on.
Moving right on.
So, for those of you who have been keeping up with The Flash, the TV show on the CW, I have kind of fallen off the Flash train, unfortunately.
I kind of did too.
Yeah, I think by season 3,
Yep.
I think I was done. Is that the season with Savitar? The speed god or whatever?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, that was the last one I saw. So, if there's, I think the new season's coming, and so I haven't seen season 4 yet. But anyway, so I'm getting this from sorry, I probably should have had this pulled up beforehand, huh? I'm getting this from Deadline. It says, it looks like Keenan Lonsdale will be hanging up his Kid Flash costume. The actor who plays the superhero on The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow will not be returning to either show as a series regular, Deadline has confirmed. Just because he won't be a regular doesn't mean it's the end for Kid Flash, aka Wally West. He will be appearing in the season 5 premiere of The Flash. Okay, so I may have missed 2 seasons, or maybe just the 1. Either way.
I'll say you're more caught up than I am, because I don't think I made it out of the beginning, or I don't think I made it out of the end of season 2.
Oh, yeah. Where was I? Yeah, he will be appearing on the season 5 premiere of The Flash. The Australian actor originally joined the cast of the CW's The Flash as a series regular in season 2. So, yeah. There had been talk that the actor was going to be going to Legends of Tomorrow and be Kid Flash on that show, which made a lot of sense to me because I feel like there's too many speedsters on the Flash show.
Sure.
Like, I think when I did the Worst Things of 2017 episode, I talked about the Flash and how I'm just sick of the speedsters. I'm like,
yeah.
If you make another season of this shit and there's anything with somebody else that runs fast, I'm done. And I pretty much washed my hands at the end of the Savitar season. I was like, okay, I'm done with this shit. But I mean, the show is kind of like take it or leave it at this point for me, but I did like the actor that played Kid Flash, and this does suck for him because I always thought that he was pretty good, and I think that if they could have moved him over to Legends of Tomorrow sooner, he probably would have had a platform where he can grow and develop and work that character in more and make him an important part of the show, because it's like when you have the Flash and you have like the old Flash, and then you have, you know, like the Reverse Flash and Speedy and all these other characters, and it's like, okay, like I can't deal with the speedster. So I think if they would have put him on the other show sooner, he would have probably done better over there, and they could have kept him around a little bit longer.
Sure.
I mean, who knows? But I just felt like on the Flash, it never really felt like they knew what to do with his character. He always felt like he was there out of an obligation to the comics because Wally is a part of the Flash mythos or whatever.
Right.
So I felt like they just put him in there because they felt like we have to have the Kid Flash in the show. But I honestly feel like they could have done without him. I mean, hopefully once he does leave, they can try and shift the focus back onto Barry, seeing as how the show is called The Flash. You know, like...
Go figure.
I mean, call me crazy. I thought this show was about Barry, not Barry and friends, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, so, I mean... I have not completely written Flash off. I will go back eventually and probably on Netflix catch up with the other seasons.
Sure.
But now that I know that Kid Flash won't be there, it's like I think in the new season that I haven't seen yet, I believe that Kid Flash has to take over as the main Flash for a while, because I believe at the end of season 3, Barry goes off into the Speed Force to stop some crazy shit, and he disappears for a while. It's a whole thing.
Apparently.
Yeah. But, so, yeah, I mean, it seemed like he was going to take a more prominent role in the show, but I guess not. So, I don't know. And that's all the information we have. Like, I haven't seen any statements from the actor or, like, any of his reps or anything. So, I mean, I don't know if this was an amicable split. Like, if they were just like, hey, you know, he wants to do other things,
right,
and yada yada. If he got just fired from the show, who fucking knows? I don't know. But all I know is that Kid Flash will be leaving come probably 2 or 3 episodes into the new season of The Flash. I don't even know if they're even going to put him on Legends of Tomorrow at all now.
Yeah.
Because unless they're going to just kill off his character, I don't really see a point to start him on a new show if you're just going to get rid of him anyway.
Right.
You know, within a few months. Or however long, he's going to still be on the show. So yeah, guys, so if you liked Kid Flash, sorry. Yeah, another one bites the dust, I guess. But you don't have anything to add on that one?
I mean, I'm not really...
She's like, I've gave up on that shit so long ago.
I've never really been a Flash kind of... Like, yeah, he's the Flash. Okay, that's cool. He can runs really fast. That's cool.
Okay,
you know, he could run backwards and turn back time. Cool.
Sure, yeah.
Other than that, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, I agree. The Flash is not one of my more favorite characters, definitely, for sure.
Like I said, I fell off watching The Flash in, like, early season 2, so...
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, no, I could give a shit. Like, oh, yeah, so you probably never even seen Wally even become Kid Flash then, did you?
I don't think I did.
Oh, see, yeah. She's like, so that really don't mean shit to me.
She's like, okay.
She said, who? Kid what? It's like, sure, all right. I'll
go
take
with
your
that.
word for it. Yeah. It's that time again for America's #1 show, Dumb Shit of the Week. That's right. Dumb Shit of the Week is the show where you submit your findings of dumb shit, and we talk about it. Want your submission on the show? Find us on Twitter @GiantLeap, 4 Geeks, or you can email us officialoglfg@gmail.com. Now here's your host, DJ Melly Mel.
Thank you. All right, we had a couple submissions this week. Not too prominent, but we'll go with it. One of the big ones that kind of got to me. Real One with Phoenix.
Uh-huh.
Now, the information that I have comes from Benoit, Benwah, and he's on Twitter at Benoit Gaming, Benwah Gaming, and also Benoit on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Phoenix is a trending song on YouTube now. Now, before our inner geeks get excited, this has nothing to do with the Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, or anything like that. Real One, and it's REAL, the number 1.
Yeah, no space in between.
No space, just
Get it right.
one word and a number. Is the alter ego of WWE star Enzo Amore. For those of you in the wrestling world, you know who Enzo Amore is. If not, you can Google him. He released a music video. Now, Mike C. Squared and I have listened to said music video, and we turned it off about halfway through. This music video is a retaliation song addressing the now dismissed rape charges against Mr. Amore. Enzo was sacked by the WWE back in January after he failed to tell them about an allegation against him. A rape allegation against him, mind you. Yeah. So he got booted off the show. They said, look, you're going to do bad shit. You at least need to tell us about it so we can cover our ass.
Right. It's like you might want to tell your new boss if you might be going to jail for rape. Just saying.
Yeah, you know, especially on something as involved as WWE.
Right. You're like a celebrity. You're on TV. You're signing little kids' shirts and shit. Like, you might want to tell us about that. It's not a good look.
For those of you who have missed Enzo Amore, he will return on, was it this weekend? The 17th?
No, August 17th.
Oh, August 17th. That's right.
Yeah, for House of Glory.
Few more months for House of Glory.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, what? Okay, so what I find interesting about this whole thing is, for one, he is the worst fucking rapper. Like,
oh my
by
God.
a mile. I mean, pick whoever you think in your mind is the worst rapper of all time, and then multiply that motherfucker by 10, because that is probably Enzo. And the song, though, is what I find so interesting. It's not even how bad he raps or anything like that. It's the song itself. Now, because when we initially watched this a week ago, we only watched part of it, like DJ MLML said. We watched like the first half.
Yeah.
Leading up to this, I wanted to go back and watch the rest of the video. So I watched it all the way in its entirety. No. Now, better as in it's funnier because it's dumber, but after a while...
Yeah, but if you've ever seen Enzo in wrestling, he's dumb and stupid anyway.
See, I don't know his persona. So I'm like, this is all new to me. So I'm like, ooh, what the fuck?
It's like this thug gangster from New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, no. He's a self-proclaimed OG, I believe is what he said.
Certified G.
Certified G. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Enzo. Certified. So in the video, towards the end, he's basically just like talking at the camera, and he's like, yeah, he's like I stand up for all of our women who've been hurt and had stuff done against them. And he was like, he's like, I stand behind y'all and all the women who have, been raped and yada yada. And he's like, and for all of y'all who making all these fake allegations out there, fuck y'all and this, that, and the other. It was so cringy at the end, because I was like, okay, I get it. Now, in his defense, the charges have been dismissed. There wasn't enough evidence, they said. So, he's off the hook for that shit. So, hey, look, I am sorry that this girl, falsely accused you of raping her. Everything else, that shit is fucked up. But it don't make you look better to then make a beef track, you know what I'm saying? Like it's some Tupac and Biggie shit.
Right.
It's like you don't make a rap song about how, oh, this bitch lying and I didn't rape her and this, that, and the other. It's like, that don't make you look more innocent.
No.
It just don't. If anything, if I was on the jury, I'd be like, yeah, he guilty as hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, it don't make you look good. Could you imagine if Bill Cosby came out and did some Jell-O pudding commercials talking about how, he's like, look at this pudding. Now, could you imagine, he's like, something this wholesome and delicious, slipping you a date rape drug and, all this other shit. It's like, yeah, that ain't helping your cause, man. So it's like, when you're in scenarios like this, it's fucked up. If you're being wrongly accused of something.
Sure.
I understand, but you have to choose how you defend yourself publicly. And pro tip, rap songs about how you're not a rapist is not one of those things. No. I just wanted to add that in there.
Not a good idea.
Because I watched the rest of it and I was like, I love how he's making like a Me Too movement speech at the end. I'm pretty sure she said something like, yeah, we support the Me Too movement. And I was just like, stop.
Enzo.
I was like, now that you off the hook and you free.
Just let it go.
Delete that video, burn all the copies of that song, just get rid of that shit.
Oh, it's on the internet now. It'll be there forever.
Yep, the internet's forever. Sorry, man. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. We're just gonna keep on going. Enzo's enough to watch, and you like when you see him perform in WWE and wrestling, you want to smack him anyways. Like
he seems like he'd get on my fucking nerves. Like I haven't watched him perform.
I mean, there was a time where I liked Enzo, sure.
Okay.
And his little gimmicks were cute and they were, they were funny and whatever. But then it got to be too much. It really did.
I see, yeah, we're trying to take that G certification away from your ass.
All right. Next submission that we had was actually found on Reddit, not on Twitter this week. So kudos for expanding.
Yes.
Murky Waters 677, and he says, I decided it was a good idea to walk 3 hours in the cold for some dank weed. It was worth it. Now, I'm
sorry, go ahead. It was worth it. Go ahead.
I am not a consumer of cannabis at any cost. Not opposed to it, just not my thing.
Sure.
I don't think I've ever wanted something so bad that I walk 3 hours in the cold to get some dank weed. Or anything at that. No.
It could have been some dank pussy. I'm not walking 3 hours in the cold for nothing.
First of all, if it's cold, I ain't walking nowhere. You're lucky if I walk to my kitchen and back. Second of all, in the cold?
Yeah.
No.
It better
and
been
for 3 hours?
Okay.
Where the fuck did you have to go?
I know,
That's
right?
3
Where's your
hours
weed man at?
Right. you
Now-
need a weed man that has a vehicle. Just saying.
Now, I didn't get clarification on this, and I wish I did. But I'm curious, is this a cumulative time, or is this a 3 hour trip one way and a 3 hour trip back? Or is this 3 hours total? Because I'm like, if it's 3 hours there, then fuck, hell no. Well, even 3 hours total, still no. But 3 hours there, fuck no, hell no. This is my thing, though. No offense, Murky Waters 677. But maybe, just gonna put this out there, maybe if you saved some of your money and didn't spend it on the dank weed, you could invest in a car and then drive to get the weed. I don't know. I mean, I could be crazy, but I think your priorities might be a little askew the wrong way.
Just a little bit.
If you walking anywhere, but you're still buying weed, you should probably really stop and rethink what's going on in your life right now. Like, maybe I could get a car, then I could just drive to get the weed. Hey, I'm not telling you to stop smoking. Do your thing, man. Hey, knock yourself out. But prioritize. Just saying. Just prioritize. You don't want to be caught out here. Could you imagine if you had gotten, I don't know, hypothermia or frostbite?
You had to go to the hospital.
Right. And then you wake up and they've had to amputate your fucking feet and shit because your toes are frozen solid and they're black. And then you sit there and go...
And you handcuffed.
Right.
All this weed.
Right. And they've taken your weed, too, because if it's dank, they smelt that shit when they picked your ass about to snow, so...
We're assuming that, Murky Waters is in the snow just because we're in the snow.
It was shit. He said it was cold, so I figured cold and snow go hand in hand in my mind.
Sounds about right. But anyway, so life lesson, kids, probably shouldn't walk 3 hours in the cold for some weed.
Yeah. for
Just
really anything.
For anything. Not unless you have to. Like, you gotta get to work or some shit.
Yeah, man. Even then, man, I'm calling in that day. If it's taking me 3 hours to walk to work, I will not be there. You can
I'm
fire
stuck in my
me
driveway.
or whatever the fuck you want to do, but I will not be coming in today. Thank you.
Yeah.
And by the way, real quick, another pro tip, Murky Waters 677. You don't have no friends that could have helped you out, like gave you a ride or something. Like, hey, look, I'll smoke this blunt with you if you drive me for this 3-hour trip that I'm about to walk. Like, Jesus.
He's saving all his money for that weed.
Yeah, look, he said, I'm selfish about my shit. He said, hell no.
All right. Our next submission come from Peach Mike 97 on Twitter.
Yeah, his name, like, his handle's Peach Milk 97, and his handle
Milk. I'm sorry.
And then his name that he's named on Twitter is Happy Alina Day. Ilana or Alina? It's Elena.
I think it's Alina.
Alana, whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, he sent us
Peach Milk.
Peach Milk 97 is a lonely man, and he says that it is dumb he does not have a girlfriend, so he has to hold his own hand.
No. He just says, you know what's dumb is that I don't have a girlfriend holding my hand right now. And I'm like...
Oh, I'm sorry. I made the inference that he was holding his own hand.
He probably, to be honest with you. And I'm like...
Maybe you shouldn't be Peach Milk.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say.
Throwing that out there.
Yeah. It's like if you change your name from Happy Alina Day, then you might find some interested people or not have the handle Peach Milk. I mean, either way, they both sound weird and kind of like creepy. Like, hey kids, you want some candy in this van? Creepy.
Right.
Just putting it out there. And also, another pro tip. If you want to get a girlfriend, you don't tweet out that you don't have one holding your hand right now. Just saying, most girls probably will...
It's not going to work.
Yeah, run wildly in the other direction if they see some shit like that. Because, I mean... Or I would love to meet the person that read that tweet and went like, you know what? You do need a girlfriend holding your hand right now. DM, oh shit, like no.
Let me come to you.
Right.
I'll save the day.
Right. She's like, send me a dick pic and we'll see what you're working with, and then we'll talk about it. It's like, jeez.
Lord knows that's how dating is, especially if his handle was Peach Milk 97. So we're talking 21, 22.
Oh yeah, I didn't even put that together. Yeah, probably. You know, it would.
They'd be 21 this year.
Yeah, it just made more sense to just make it like breast milk 97. Why make it peach milk? Can you even get milk out of peaches?
No, but they could be referring to something else.
Oh, pussy milk? All right. I was gonna say that'd be more like pussy yogurt. It's not that.
It better not be.
Well, it's not that fluidy. I mean, okay. All right, we're finna get into sex talk. All right, so if you're a squirter, it's more clear-ish. It's not like creamy white. You know,
right.
Like I'm coming. The white stuff is usually a bit more thicker. That's why I said like pussy yogurt. It would be like the consistency that I guess I could apply it to. I'm sorry, guys. I did not mean for this to go.
I'm sorry, but it better not ever be as thick as yogurt. Let me just throw that.
Pussy lotion?
We're just gonna go because no.
Oh shit!
There are so many things wrong with what you're saying right now.
Peach Milk 97 for this great conversation starter.
I hope you get a girlfriend, man. I hope you get a girlfriend.
Right? Hey, use these pro tips. I'm telling you.
Excuse me. Our last submission, probably my favorite of this week, came from us at a last minute kind of thing. And did you send me the information of who sent you this?
No, I didn't. This one came from #NoOffenseShow again. The guys who gave us those Florida stories last week. Yeah.
I should have figured.
Yeah, and
okay.
And their handle was at HTNOS on Twitter.
All right. Now, a pet monkey attacked a worker in a Home Depot in Okeechobee, Florida. Not to be confused with Obi Kenobi.
Right. Oh.
Yeah. So, pet monkey attacks worker in a Florida Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
A diaper-wearing pet monkey attacked a Home Depot employee who was trying to find the monkey's owner. The incident happened Monday at the store, which is located at 2700 Highway 441 South. They got some weird street names down in Florida. According to the Okeechobee County Sheriff's Office, the monkey's owner, Tina Ballard, told deputies that she had left her pet monkey in the truck on a leash. However, the monkey escaped from the vehicle, wandered into the parking lot. Marilyn Howard, who is the person who was attacked, told deputies that she was taking a break outside the store when she heard coworkers yelling about a monkey. I can't contain the laughter, but we're going to keep going.
It's okay.
Howard said that she then spotted the monkey walking toward her. She grabbed the monkey's leash and it climbed on her back, but then it bit her twice on her back. She grabbed the leash again, so I assume once she was bitten, she let it go. She grabs the leash again, begins leading the monkey towards the front of the store to locate the owner. Getting to the doors on the Home Depot, the monkey is startled, and the monkey attacks Howard again. Now, by this time, I'd have let the damn thing go, but whatever. She got bit on the arm and also on her hand. She was scratched on her face. She refused medical treatment, but told deputies that she would go to a hospital to be evaluated. Animal Control and Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation was notified about the incident. They are now investigating the case. Okay. First off, who the fuck has a pet monkey that's not Michael Jackson?
Thank you. Because the first thing I thought as soon as I saw this story, I was like, a pet? What? I was like, bitch, are you on a carnival? Like, what the fuck?
Now, mind you, this happened, or the article was released June 9th of 2018, so a few days ago.
Sure.
At 2:17 p.m. via Spectrum News. So it happened somewhere within the last week.
Yeah. It's fairly recent, yeah.
Okay, again I say, Tina Ballard, what are you doing with a pet monkey? That's, I mean, how does one acquire a pet monkey?
Right.
Do you go to a pet store and say,
I was gonna say,
I want a monkey?
They definitely can't be at PetSmart, for sure.
No, PetSmart does not have a pet monkey.
Okay, do you remember a few years ago, there was a story about a woman who had a pet gorilla or a chimpanzee or some shit?
Yes.
And it,
it bit her face off?
Yeah, her friend's face off and shit, yeah. I was like, from that moment on, how we did not draft legislation that said it's illegal to have monkeys as pets in your home. Like, if you don't have, like, a zoo on your property with, like, cages and handlers and all that motherfucking shit, like, dudes on standby with a sniper rifle with tranquilizer darts and shit, like, for real. Because, I'm sorry, and to this day, I don't know if they ever figured out why the monkey attacked her. I think they assumed that it might have been a perfume that the woman was wearing that set it off. But it's like, okay, if I went into your house and my cologne made your dog bite my face off, they would be like, no, like you'd be seeing all kind of posts on Facebook about kill pit bulls and all this shit. They're a horrible, dangerous animal. But I'm like, we're still allowed to have, I mean, like, not even kind of a domesticated animal because, okay, this is what the problem is with humans. We want to domesticate everything. Yes, that too, but we want to domesticate everything. I understand domesticating dogs.
Sure.
Dogs will help you hunt. Dogs will keep away predators and intruders and shit like that.
And
I understand
adorable.
Domesticating cats. Yeah, because
but okay.
Well, they kill rodents and mice and birds and stuff like that. The smaller animals, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. Yeah. I get that. I even get you wanting to, I don't know, a bird. You know, it's like, hey, you know, it can sing songs and stuff. If you're really good, you can teach it to send messages to people and shit and come back and all that. Hey, it'll be like Assassin's Creed and it'll spot out little hiding spots for you and all kind of shit. Monkeys, though.
Monkeys are smart.
Yeah, but it's like, that motherfucker ain't finna do your taxes. I'm like, he ain't finna go get the mail for you or no shit like that. No, if you let him out on his own and be like, oh, come on, Chim Chim, go get the paper, that some bitch will run off so quick and kill the first motherfucker he saw on the street. I seen Planet of the Apes. The moment he got outside, he bit that dude fucking finger off. So I'm like, nope, fuck that shit. So yeah, so my thing is, I don't understand why we still want to have big, or not even, it was like a little chimp thing.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a capuchin.
Yeah, like,
it doesn't say what kind of,
like the little monkey that's in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Movies. Like one of those little kind of monkey. Even that, it's like, I don't like when people, and I think I've talked about this on the show before, but I want to put my dog in a bag and put human clothes on it and put it in a stroller and take it around the mall and all this stupid shit. And it's like, the fact that we do that with dogs and shit is dumb to begin with. But it's like, why are you bringing your capuchin monkey or whatever the fuck to Home Depot? I'm like, and it's like, I had him on a leash, and it's like, what, you couldn't bring him into nowhere that you would have went to. Now, some places let you have service dogs.
Sure.
But you can't bring a monkey into any establishment, nowhere. Why is he even in your car? Leave his ass at home.
Now, in the article, it says she had left him in there for an hour.
Jesus.
My thing is, it's Florida. It's hot.
She probably had the window cracked aside.
Why the fuck you leaving animals in a car?
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like, if you are so, like, if you have such separation anxiety to the point where you can't go anywhere without having your pets with you, then maybe you should just, like, sign up for all the mail order services and just have shit brought to you and just don't leave the house. Because I'm like, I hate when I see that shit, when people go to McDonald's and they got their dog in the driver's seat, like, over them, and the person got to reach around your fucking drooling dog to hand you your change. And it's like, why?
Now
You're going right back home.
I would say if you're not going right home and you took the dog out somewhere, I can see that. Like,
if you're going to a park, sure.
Yeah, like you took him to the dog park or you went to the beach.
Yeah, or you're going out of town.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's just like, hey, I'm going to the mall today. I want to go to the outlets, and I'm going to go take my little, poodle with me. Leave that motherfucker at home. Like, damn. And if he finna tear up your house and all that shit, you put him outside, right? Something. Like, don't nobody want to see your fucking dog.
Now, the lady that owns this monkey, she said, well, I left him on a leash and the door was locked. He's a monkey.
Right. He has opposable thumbs. He can open shit and everything else. He could have probably, if his legs was long enough, he could have drove that motherfucker like shit. You lucky your car wasn't in the side of the damn Home Depot and shit.
It'd be like Jumanji up in this bitch.
Wearing the fucking police helmet and shit on the motorcycle and shit. Oh, man. Kids, if you haven't seen the original Jumanji with Robin Williams, you need to go check that out. It's a good movie.
Yeah. So, word of advice, leave your monkeys at home. At least she had the decency to put a diaper on him, though. So he wasn't flinging poo.
Yeah.
But still, leave your monkeys at home.
And real quick before we jump off of this, I want to say, I got a feeling that Home Depot worker was either one of two things. This is going to sound terrible, and it's only meant to be a joke. She was either undocumented or she does drugs. One of the two. Because
I'm going to go with the latter of the two.
Because she probably was like, shit, I don't want to get fired. Because if I report this, they're going to make me go do a drug test because I got hurt at work. And the other thing is, if she's undocumented, she probably, refused medical attention and everything else because she's like, oh, no, I'll be good. Because I've known plenty of people who they got hurt or fucked up at work and they just hid it from everybody because they didn't want to get fired. So, more than most likely, she probably smoked weed or some shit. And she's like, no, I'll just go to the hospital later. And I'm like, fuck that. A monkey bites and scratches me. You give me.
I'd be like, you be calling me an ambulance.
Look, get them rabies shots ready because we on our way. Like,
you got it.
Yeah, so that's why I was curious, because it was like she refused medical attention. It's like he bit you on the back twice, bit your arm, and scratched you in the face.
No.
Fuck that. I want medical attention now. Matter of fact, I wanted to get it now so I can get all this documented for when I sue this bitch.
Right.
I got all my medical records together.
You know, I work in a place where if I'm getting scratched, bit, whatever at work,
Sure.
I want medical attention immediately.
Fuck yeah, hell yeah.
And I work with people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be damned if a monkey's gonna bite me and be like, nah, I don't want a medical.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be
Nah,
fine.
I'll be alright. I'm just gonna develop this twitch here.
Right, nah.
People not going and getting medical attention is how we end up with superheroes, y'all.
Either that or some new form of fucking pancreatic cancer, one of the two.
Right?
It's fine.
Okay. So, remember, Dumb Shit of the Week is your show. Send us your submissions. Every week we compile them, we read them, and we shout out to you for sending it. Keep them coming, and you can send it to us on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks, and you can always, of course, email it to us at officialoglfg@gmail.com.
Father's Day is right around the corner, and I bet you still haven't gotten something for your dad yet, have you? Well, don't worry, I got you covered. Let me tell you about a company that makes high-quality headphones, Sudio. Sudio is a Swedish lifestyle and earphone specialist, and yes, the name is from that Phil Collins song. They make some of the best wireless headphones on the market, and they have a fantastic selection of wireless earbuds as well, like the Nivea, Tray, and my personal favorite, the Regent, and more. And if you don't want to give up the cord, they have options for Android and iPhone as well. These are state-of-the-art wireless headphones with a modern design. Some can even be personalized. They give fantastic sound quality and crystal clear definition. Everything from Sudio comes with a quality assurance card, which has a unique serial number and a 1-year warranty, giving you the confidence knowing you're giving your dad a product that is backed by Sudio to guarantee his satisfaction. Now, I'm going to help you out because you procrastinate. Go over to Sudio.com, that's SUDIO.com, see them for yourself, pick out some he'd like, and get your dad something for Father's Day. They have a great variety of headphones to choose from and earbuds as well. Go to the checkout, use our code, you'll receive 15% off your purchase. That code is LEAP4Geeks. That code again is LEAP4Geeks, all one word, not only to get 15% off your order, but they'll know we sent you. So again, don't skip out on dad like prior years. Show him you put in some care and get him something nice. Go to Sudio.com, that's SUDIO.com, and use the code LEAP4Geeks, all one word, at checkout to get an extra 15% off your order. You're welcome. So, we have a metric fuck ton of trailers that came out last week. Like, I don't know, was it like International like Trailer Day or something?
It must have been. We had 6 releases last week.
Yeah, and I was like, Jesus. Like, what happened? And there was a couple that came out that I was just like, we already got too many. I can't fit any more into the show this week. There's another trailer came out for Winnie the Pooh and something else. I was just like, okay, no more. All right, this is it. This is the cutoff point. So, the first trailer on our docket is Ralph Breaks the Internet. Now, okay, before I said there was a lot of obvious product placement in the first trailer, this trailer is like product placement the movie.
You think?
It's like they're not even being like subtle about it. Now, at the beginning of that trailer, for probably the first like 30 seconds of this like minute and a half, some odd 2-minute trailer, it's just flashing companies, logos. It's like Google, Amazon, this, that, and the other, Disney,
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my God. I was like, I get it. That's part of the joke about how all these things are in the internet, but it's like, it's too overt.
Sure.
It's like, we get it. You're trying to sell shit in the movie. Like, this reminds me of, do you remember Man of Steel?
Yes.
Do you remember when they had the fight in Smallville?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people complained about that scene in the movie because there was all this product placement during that. There's a 7-Eleven in the background. There's an IHOP. They go through like a Sears or some shit. It's like all these, there's U-Haul trucks lined up and down the street. And it's like, oh my God. Like, and the director's thing was, you know, and I get it. All movies do product placement to some degree or another. If you ever see a brand name, anything in a movie, it's product placement. I get it. But he was like, oh, well, I wanted to make the town believable, so I put all these recognizable things, which I can kind of see his argument for that. Like, hey, if you go to your town, you probably have a Sears, you probably have an IHOP, you probably have whatever. But I'm like, would all those things be on this tiny ass strip of Smallville? Like, really? I was like, I don't know about all that. But I mean, it's whatever. But I feel like the product placement in this trailer was way more overt than it had been in the other one. It was. There was no jokes in this one like it was in the other one. It was like, I was waiting and I was like, okay, so you're showing me all these company logos, but where's the joke? It's like, no, that's it. We're just showing you all these logos. And I'm like, all right, where's the joke? The only joke came in when they did the Disney website.
Right.
That was the only time there was a joke, which I did appreciate that, but
I would say Disney is stamped all over.
Yeah,
this
like
bad
it was
boy.
obnoxious as all hell, and it felt real like self-celebratory. It's like, look at how awesome Disney is. Iron Man flies through Star Wars, and all this other shit is like, oh, look at all these cartoons we got, the Disney princesses, and Aladdin's coming back, and it's like, we get it. Disney owns everything. If Disney could get their hands on Transformers, that would be, because I swear to God, if Optimus Prime had if Iron Man had flew through Optimus Prime's legs during that scene, I'd be like, and now that's everything. Like, that's you own it all now.
Be like, you want to buy Batman too?
Somebody please take DC from Warner Brothers. Anybody, please take that shit from them, because good Lord. Anyway, we're not going to have
No, we're not doing that tonight.
The one thing in the trailer, though, that I did enjoy was the Disney princess bit at the end. That was the one thing that gave me some hope that this movie actually has something to say this time, and it's not just like a cash grab sequel.
Right.
But so far, with what we've seen, I'm a little worried, besides that little nugget there. Because the first Wreck-It Ralph was all about, like Ralph trying to prove like, hey, I am a part of the community as well. I'm not just a guy that comes in and breaks shit. Like, I am a part of this game. I'm part of this community. I live here with you people, and you treat me differently than everybody else because, I'm clumsy and shit. Like, it had a message to it about like self-acceptance and not shunning people.
Sure,
and stuff like that.
one of the appeals to it.
Exactly.
Especially for those of us that are, older than
Sure.
children age, and we watch Disney movies all day long with our kids, and you're like, hey, I can get behind this because it works.
There's a message. It's saying something. This one, I don't know what they're saying. Like, they're not saying anything. They're just like, isn't the internet great? And I'm like, yeah, but what's the movie about? You know? That little line at the end, too, where it's like, shouldn't it be Ralph wrecks the internet because I'm Wreck-It Ralph? She's like, yeah, but breaks the internet is like a thing. And, like, I was like, again, where's the joke? Like, it's like, yeah, we know that. And he's like, well, you're not wrong. And I'm like, that wasn't funny. Like, the first trailer with and the bunny gets the pancakes, like, that was hilarious. This one, I'm just like, I almost felt like it was trailers for two different movies. I was like, this doesn't feel like the last Wreck-It Ralph trailer y'all showed me.
I don't know. We're going to have to watch the movie.
Oh, sure.
Kind of see. Because the trailers, they always pick out the best parts.
Right, but that's what I'm worried about. These are
I'm
the
really
best parts.
hoping that Disney decided to be like, usually we give them the best parts, but we're just going to throw something in there.
Sure.
Because that can't be the best part.
I hope not. I really fucking hope not. But the little guy, the search bar guy, I thought that joke was kind of cute.
That was cute.
He kept trying to like guess what he was gonna say, and then he was like, "Oh, my autofill is very aggressive today," or something like that. And I was like, I get that joke. I like what y'all did.
See what
there.
you did there.
Yeah, that was all right. That was pretty good. Anyway, anything else about Wreck-It Ralph?
Let's
Or Break It Ralph now.
Ralph breaks the internet. We'll just have to see how much breaking he does on the internet.
Like I said, I just want it to be funny, and I want it to be a story. Like, don't just put a bunch of fucking companies in front of me and be like, and credits. Mm-hmm. like that wasn't a movie. That was just a big-ass commercial for 2 hours. But anywho, so our next trailer that dropped is Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. And I want to say up front, right off the bat, this feels like a breath of fresh air into the Spider-Man mythos. I love what Marvel is doing with Spidey. Don't get me wrong. By no means, I'm not saying get rid of Peter Parker or any kind of shit like that. No, that is Spider-Man. But I do think that this was needed. when Marvel was in talks with Sony to try and get Spider-Man into the MCU, there was this big campaign of people saying, oh, well, this will be the chance to bring Miles Morales into this. Like, you know, we just had a Spider-Man trilogy, you know, with the Sam Raimi movies. You know, we just rebooted him with 2 movies, and now if we're going to reboot him again, why not, instead of keep bringing Peter back every time, why not introduce Miles into this?
Sure.
And that's what I was hoping that they were going to do. Obviously, they did not do that, which I think that the Peter Parker Spider-Man that we have now is probably the best that we've had so far to date. But I still was kind of bummed that we didn't get Miles, because I do like that character and I do want people to learn who he is.
Right. Most people are not aware that there is more than one spider crawling
exactly
superhero.
Yeah, like if you're not into the comics and stuff, you know,
you have no idea who Miles is.
There's all kind of iterations of Spider-Man. Like, for this particular trailer, it seems like they've kind of drastically changed Miles' origin story, because in the comics, Peter dies fighting the Sinister Six, and Miles' uncle works for, I think, Oscorp, and he steals one of the spiders that gave Spider-Man his powers to try and sell it to somebody, and he hides it in Miles' house, and it ends up biting Miles, and that's how he gets his powers. Now, it's a different spider than the one that bit Peter,
but of the same origin.
Kind of, sort of. He got a little bit different powers than what Peter has.
Okay.
Like, he has the spider sense and stuff, but he can also turn invisible. Like, there's a shot in the trailer where his ass coming up and he turns invisible. He has this thing called, like, the spider bite or something like that, where basically he can hit you with this, like, electric shock, and it basically, like, cripples your nervous system and paralyzes you. And he has, like, other little powers that Spider-Man doesn't have.
I like how they kind of showed that with the different Spidey sense.
Yeah.
So, like, Peter senses that Miles is like him, and his was red and blue.
Yeah, and Miles
is like green and purple or something. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah. I like how they're visually showing just the art style in this trailer in general. Like, it's CG, but it's almost like stop motion, like claymation.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like this weird, like, jerky stuttering, like, when they move and stuff. But then, like, I think the movie's going to be in 3D, because whenever you see shots of the background, it would look like when, you know how, like, you're at a 3D movie and you take the glasses off and everything looks, like, weird? You know, it's like it's layered on top of each other.
Sure.
All the background stuff look like that. So I think everything is going to be in 3D during the movie, except for the characters. So, like, the backgrounds and stuff.
Right.
And just the colors and the art style in general. Like, there's a lot of instances where, like, there's action scenes going. Like, there's a part where, like, the Green Goblin's trying to, like, throw pumpkin bombs at Spider-Man. And, like, the words, like, boom, pow, pop up on the screen. And it, like, flashes all these weird colors. And, like, there's a part where Miles is in his Spider-Man costume. And he's running down the street. And, like, a bus is coming. And he, like, jumps between the bus. And it, like, flashes for a second. Like, the whole background's yellow. And you just see him. And it's, like, these quick little, like, almost like what Ang Lee tried to do in the Incredible Hulk movie, but the right way. So instead of, like, making literal comic book panels, they just took some of the colors and the words that you would see in comic books, and they just kind of flashed that real quick, but they didn't make a big deal out of it.
Right.
So they kind of integrated the comic-y kind of stuff, but still didn't, you know, take away from the fact that this is a cartoon and or a CG movie. But I like how they kind of married the two things together. And I mean, I think that this is not going to make $1 billion, but I think that this could be
not even close. But no. I mean, it's going to do well, especially for animated.
Oh, sure.
It'll be like The Killing Joke, you know. It'll
sure. I think that this has the potential to reach, like, Black Panther heights of, like, cultural importance. Sure. I don't necessarily think it'll make as much money as that did, but because of the fact that it is animation and a lot of people just won't watch animated movies no matter what it is. So I get that. But I mean, to be able to see, because I mean, I think the best part in that trailer is when he jumps off the building and he's falling and he's like, Brooklyn! Like, that was like that gave me, like, chills, because that was like that thing when, you know, I saw the Black Panther trailer for the first time and went and seen that movie, and it was just like having someone on the screen who is of color, and it's not a sidekick, or, you know, hey, you're the Jimmy Olsen to my Superman or whatever. It's like, you know, I am the main character. But I also don't like the fact that we're shoving all these other Spider-Men into Miles' movie. I would have liked him to be a live-action real person in a movie, but if we can't get that, I'll take this. But then I feel like we're getting gypped even still, because, yeah, it's a cartoon, and it's Miles' story, but now it's like, oh, but the real Spider-Man's in it, and Gwen Stacy's Spider-Man's in it, and about 30 other Spider-Mans are going to pop up later. Because it's in the name, it's Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse, and in that comic story, there's like these parallel universes that open up, and all these other Spider-Mans from all these other timelines and universes join forces. So they're like an army of Spider-Man, and they're all different, and they all got different powers and costumes. And it was a cool story, but I'm like, I feel like you're kind of robbing Miles of his spotlight, by doing that. So I'm like, if we make a sequel to this, is it just going to always be more Spider-Man in it, or can he have his own thing after this movie? Like, I get it, because a lot of people were mad when they killed off Peter Parker and made Miles Spider-Man. They're like, oh, cultural appropriation, affirmative action, you gave the black kid Spider-Man, and yada yada. So I think they're trying to avoid that by going, okay, we won't kill off Spider-Man. He'll just be in a different universe. And then we'll have Spider-Man teach him to be
Spider-Man.
So then that way, the haters won't be like, oh, you just gave it to the black kid and and all that shit. Anyway, what did you? I've rambled.
I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. I think it's interesting to see Miles finally on screen. Like you said, unless you know the comics, you have no idea who Miles is. I'm kind of excited to see Gwen Stacy again. She's another one you don't know who she is.
Right. Unless you watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies or know the comics, then yeah, you probably don't know who Gwen Stacy is.
It looks cute for being a cartoon. And like I said, I think it'll probably be right up there with, the Blade cartoon. Not Blade. Yeah, there's a Blade cartoon and there's like these graphic novel cartoons.
Sure.
There's one for the Chronicles of Riddick. There's the Batman one, which is the Killing Joke.
Right.
So I think it'll fall into that category, kind of like an anime, American anime kind of thing.
Almost, yeah. And I hope so, because I think that's one thing that DC does have over Marvel is that their animated stuff is better than Marvel stuff. Like their series and their animated movies.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, this might be Marvel's chance to try and
break into that.
Yeah, step their game up. This is my hopes, right? This is my hopes. My hopes. Hopefully, in an ideal scenario, this is how it would go. If this does good, Sony can make Spider-Man movies that they want with Miles. You have your animated shit and do that. And then just let Marvel do what they doing with Peter, and then everybody wins.
There you go.
Nobody has to lose Spider-Man. You still get to make Spider-Man movies that you want to make. You don't have to go and fit into the mold that the MCU has created. You can tell whatever stories you want.
Right.
You still have Spider-Man. And we can use him in the MCU. And you don't have to give up the rights to anything. So you can still sit back and collect all the money. Let the fans be happy. Let Marvel be happy. Do your thing. Everybody wins.
There you go.
I don't know if that's what's going to happen with this. I got a feeling Sony's going to pull some shit. But, so far, so good. They've been real, because, spoiler alert for Infinity War, a movie that's been out for almost 2 months now. But Spider-Man dies at the end of that, and I was shocked that Sony let Marvel do that. Because they just brought him back. He only has one official movie under his belt, and now he's dead. Now, granted, we all know they're going to bring Spider-Man back. They're not going to kill Spider-Man, all right? The biggest character in all of Marvel. They're not going to do that. Not permanently, at least. But I was surprised that Sony was like, okay, we'll trust you. We'll let you kill off Spider-Man. Because that is their golden goose. They have nothing else. Like, what other big movie franchises coming out of Sony? Nothing. So it's like, that's their golden goose. So I'm like, honestly, I think if they lost Spider-Man, they would just close up Sony Pictures and just stop making movies altogether and just focus on PlayStations and shit.
Yep.
But anywho, that's all I got for that. So yeah, fingers crossed that this does well, and then maybe we can keep Peter over at the MCU, and then they can just have Miles, and everybody wins.
There you go.
Hopefully, that'd be the ideal scenario, but Lord knows. All right, So, next up on the docket is the Halloween trailer. Now, I told DJ Melly Mel after she just finished watching it today, I was like, of all the trailers we're going to talk about, I'm the most excited for this one. I love the Halloween movies. Like, I'm not a horror movie aficionado per se, but as a child, I grew up watching a lot of horror movies. Like, I've watched all the Halloween movies, all the Friday the 13th movies, all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, all the Child's Play movies. I've watched all the Leprechaun movies. Like, I've watched a ton of horror movies as a kid. Some more cheesier than others, but of all of my favorite types of horror movies, the slasher genre is probably my favorite. Like, anything with a silent killer with a mask and a knife who walks to all of his victims and somehow always catches you even though he never sprints. Those are my favorite kind of movies. I don't know why. But so
it has to do with, the era we grew up in.
Sure.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for me per se, but
sure, but yeah, just as like the general
our general area or era, that was what was popular.
Like I said, I've seen all the Halloween movies. I even love all the Halloween movies, even the bad ones. I just love Michael Myers. I mean, even the shitty Rob Zombie remakes, I even like those to some degree.
Those were okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's things about it that I like, and then there's a lot of shit about it that I don't like. But this one is going to be interesting. This is a direct sequel to the original 1978 Halloween movie. Like, they're ignoring Halloween 2 through 8. Like, everything else just didn't fucking happen. Since they did that, it looks like we're going to be getting a more mysterious killer again, and his powers and his reasons for killing won't be overly explained like they did in the sequels.
Right.
Because in the first Halloween, all you know is there's a dude in a mental hospital, he breaks out, he goes to his old house, and then he starts killing some of the babysitters and shit with a fucking William Shatner Halloween mask.
Right.
And if you didn't know, that Michael Myers mask is modeled after William Shatner's face. Why? I don't know. There's a story behind it.
Well, because Shatner was big in the 70s. And
True. They probably had a Captain Kirk. You know what? I think that is it. I think they bought a Captain Kirk Halloween mask and bleached it and shit. And it was just like, there you go. You're Michael Myers. And you're like, the fuck is this? Who would have known that, 40 years later, that is one of the most iconic masks in all of cinema history. Right. That and the hockey mask. But, so this movie is going to ignore all the other movies. So in the sequels is when they try to start explaining why he's going after the girls and why he won't die and all this other shit. The first one, it was just like, I don't know. The motherfucker just crazy. Like, who knows? So it looks like they're going back to that. Because in the trailer, they have a line where, like, oh, wasn't, that your grandmother's brother or whatever? And she says, no, that's just something people made up.
Right.
Kind of brushing off the sequel and stuff. Because the first movie, I think, is the only one John Carpenter who created Halloween. I think that was one of the only ones he actually directed. Somebody else directed the sequel. And I think he directed the third one. Because Halloween 3 is the only Halloween movie that doesn't have Michael Myers in it.
Right.
It's like a completely different story. It's about some weird...
Trying to Cloverfield that shit.
Pretty much, man. That was like the first Cloverfield bullshit, Paradox bullshit. Where it was like, oh, we're just going to call it Halloween... But it won't have anything to do with the other movies.
Right.
Because he wanted to make it an anthology series where, like, each movie would be something different.
Right.
But they would all be called Halloween. But people liked the first one so much, and then the sequel did so well. When he did the third one, it was like, where's fucking Michael Myers? Like, what? Nobody want to see this bullshit? Like, where's Michael Myers? Because I think the third one was, like, some evil company had made some Halloween masks that were, like, evil and would possess you and some stupid shit. It was dumb.
I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't really into... I mean, I like Chucky's. The Chucky movies.
Okay.
I didn't really care for the other ones.
Friends to the end. Like, oh, shit. But yeah, so another interesting thing about this is that...
I like that it's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the original people were coming back.
Sure,
Like, Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back. John Carpenter, he's coming back to executive produce. And the really interesting part is not only is he an executive producer, but he also co-wrote this. Danny McBride.
Okay.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
if in a billion years you would have said Danny McBride would be co-writing the next Halloween movie, I'd be like, the fuck? Who? Like, yes, the comedian Danny McBride, who is in pretty much all of the Joe Rogan, not Joe Rogan, Seth Rogen. There we go. Seth Rogen, James Franco movies. I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan lately, so it threw me off. He's in pretty much all those movies. He's the asshole guy that nobody wants to invite to the party, and this is the end. Yeah. He's in Your Highness. He's in Tropic Thunder. He's in a bunch of shit. He had a show on like Showtime for a while about baseball or something. The guy's actually fairly funny. So it's really odd to be like, oh wow, he co-wrote this and produced it? Like, okay. So I'm interested to see his take on it and what, you know, he's going to bring new to the franchise. But it seems like they're falling back into a lot of the original stuff. Like they're going back to the original soundtrack and the sound effects that are in it. That pant sound when Michael would pop up, like that's back. There's a lot of little Easter eggs peppered in through the trailer. When the kids are trick-or-treating, they run into Michael Myers. They do that in the original movie. The girls walking down the street talking to each other, that's from the original Halloween. Even there's a part where Jamie Lee Curtis gets out the truck and she's yelling like, everybody get in the house, like get away. Right. Yada yada. There's these kids that run by her and they're wearing the Halloween mask from Halloween 3. So it's like they're ignoring that the other movies happened in canon, but they're still paying like homage to the other Halloween movies, sure. Which I appreciated that. I mean, overall, it looks really good. I mean, I hope it does well because, like I said, I love the slasher genre, and I just want to see Michael Myers in movies again. So I'm all for it. Like, get this shit going, and then we can do like Saw, like every year, a new Halloween movie. Just every Halloween, because I want a new one. I think this does come out this year, probably around Halloween time.
They usually do. Yeah, either the week of or the week before.
Yeah, so I'm all about it. Like, yeah, bring it on. But the one thing I am iffy about, though, since they have jettisoned the other sequels and kind of dropped all the lore behind it, if this does do well and they make another one, you're going to have to explain why Michael is doing this, why Michael won't die, this, that, and the other. So it's like, you're either going to ignore the lore for now and have to make up new lore later, or you're going to have to retell that lore that you ignored in the first place. So it was like, you might have wanted just left it there. Like, I did always like the fact that Michael Myers was Laurie Strode's brother. Like, that was his sister. Right. Like, I like the familial connection between them two. Though I do like the fact that they're getting rid of that because every movie was about Michael's trying to kill one of his relatives. Right. Like, that was every single movie. It's like his cousin, his niece, is something. And it's like, okay, like, whatever. So it's like, maybe this is a good idea to get rid of that and just let him just be a killer of people. Right.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a family kind of a business.
It's like, here. Your great uncle Michael, he's fucking crazy. He's like, you better clean up your room. It's like your Uncle Michael comes stab the shit out of you. Like, okay, sorry, Mom. Pause. I gotta go pee.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I need to take a pee break. Oh, we're doing good. Okay. Moving on. So we have the newest trailer for the Lego Movie 2. Everything is not so awesome since we last left Legoland. Seems like we are leaning pretty hard into the female empowerment on this one.
You think?
Have no problem with that whatsoever, but between the Wreck-It Ralph trailer and this one, like, they are going real hard on the girl power shit in these coming up animated movies. Like, the villain makes it a point to say, what does she say? She's like, oh, like you're not the chosen one. He was like, wait, but you're the master builder. You kicked ass. You did all this, that, and the other. You saved the day.
And he's the chosen one?
She was like, yeah, well, And I was like, okay. Was it just me, or did you pick up some, like, Guardians of the Galaxy vibes from this?
Thank you.
Especially when he's in the ship, and he has the plant next to him, and he's like, all right, plant, we're going to go save everybody. Yes. And I was like, when did this become Guardians of the Galaxy all of a sudden?
I'd be like, excuse me, his name is Groot, not Plant.
And it's even worse because Chris Pratt voices the character that was flying the ship. That's Chris Pratt that does the voice for him. So I was like, somebody finna get sued for this shit. I'm like, look, and I think Warner Brothers makes the Lego movies. And I'm like, y'all better quit because that mouse gonna come in there and fuck you.
See, I was gonna say, maybe if Lego was Disney, then I can see it. But Lego's not Disney. Lego is something else.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is the shots fired. Look, that mouse gonna come in there. I want that son of a bitch.
I love your Mickey Mouse impression.
That is a proprietary Disney-owned property. We bought this shit fair and square from Marvel, god damn it.
I love it.
Yeah. He's like, I want that son of a bitch legs broken. Like, jeez. Like, yeah, you didn't know that mouse ran the mob, low key. But, yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how this movie plays out because the guys who directed the first Lego movie, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, I think is their names.
I think so.
They are not directing this movie.
No, we got all new directors.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how this plays, with audiences now that it's a different directing team. I think it's still 2 people, but it's not the original 2 guys. See, y'all fucked up. They got greedy and tried to go get that Disney money because they were directing the Solo movie. And then they got kicked off of that. Ron Howard came and took that over. And y'all could have been making Lego movie 2, but you was too busy trying to suck up to Disney and they kicked you out and now you ain't got shit. I'm like, you have nothing in the works right now. So I'm like, yeah, you should have just stuck with your Lego shit. And
see, I mean,
you flew too close to the sun.
Yep, you got it. I saw the Lego movie, but I didn't see it in theaters.
Okay.
I saw it way after, and I think I was like babysitting or something.
Okay.
So it just happened and I saw it. I don't know if I want to see part 2.
That's fair.
Like, I mean, I was excited for the first one, and then I finally watched it, and I got to the end, and I realized that it had Will Ferrell in there, and I was like, okay, I'm over it.
Well, Will Ferrell, he voices the villain.
I know.
Yeah, okay. Well,
but I didn't have to see his face.
Sure. And like, I kind of have the same apprehensions about this as I do with the Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is that...
What's going to be the story?
What story are we telling, and what is the message of this one? Because the first movie, it was about, like, not letting go of your childhood and appreciating, your imagination and not... Never letting go of that sense of your child. What am I trying to say?
Don't let your inner kid grow up.
There you go. Yes, there. Thank you. And so that resonated with a lot of people, and I think that's what made that movie so successful. Aside from the fact that it was a good movie and it was funny and everything else, there was a message that people related to, especially like, being an adult and reconnecting with your children and not losing that inner child so then you can share these moments with them. Like, I thought that
Don't always be so rigid.
Right, exactly. Because he still played with the toys, but it was like, no, they have to be like this, and this can't move, and so it was like learning to let go and not want to control everything and just having fun again. And I like that. This one, if the whole thing is just going to be about like, hey, we need to acknowledge, the accomplishments that women have made and this and that, that's all well and good. But it's like, I feel like everything is doing that now. It's like the Ocean's 8 movie and the Ghostbusters movie and Wreck-It Ralph.
Man, don't bring up that garbage.
Yeah, I know that movie is bullshit. but I'm just saying, it's like, I have no problem with giving women a platform and a franchise to call their own. But it's like...
Get some original ideas.
Yes, you can't just sabotage, or you can't, overthrow what's already been established and be like, and now it's all women. It's like, that's why people railed against Miles when he became Spider-Man. Because it's like, why not just make a new character? Why take away what we have and give us this now?
Sure.
So I can get that. There is some funny shit throughout the trailer. Like, I did like but every trailer has been doing this for years now, but the taking an old song and bringing, like, the Deadpool 2 trailer did the Mama Said Knock You Out. Wreck-It Ralph, or Ralph Breaks the Internet did Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. Yep. This has fucking the Beastie Boys and shit. And I was like, okay, like I can get
homage to a great era of music.
Sure.
That 80s through early 2000s.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a great era.
And shout out to Chris Pratt's beatboxing skills, because I like his. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, I feel that. I have no idea who the villain's supposed to be. It's an alien or some shit.
Yeah, I don't. it's so irrelevant and minute to me, I didn't bother to look it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like it's whatever. I mean, it'll be silly, and it looks like they brought everybody back. Will Arnett's coming back to play Lego Batman, and all the other characters.
He's getting his own.
He already had one.
He's getting a second.
Oh yeah, sequel. Yeah. Which I didn't find all that funny. I didn't really care for the Lego Batman movie. I thought I would, especially for all the references and Easter eggs that they threw in there for all the other Batman shit. I didn't care about it.
I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, no. And that's why I'm like, if that one didn't land well, which the guys who did the first Lego movie didn't do that.
Sure.
That's why I'm like, well, now that we're doing this, is that I'm going to have that same thing where it's like, it's not the same.
I mean, my deal with the Lego movies, we're always going to have cartoons and movies that appeal for kids.
Sure.
They're always going to have, they're going to have that Shrek feel
God,
to it,
Sure.
They're going to have adult jokes, but they're still going to be for kids.
Sure.
And honestly, I don't think that the Lego movie is something that should necessarily be in theaters.
What?
I don't know. I
think it could do well as a show.
Yeah, like a TV show or an animated series.
Yeah, they could even do like a Rick and Morty type thing.
Yeah, something like that. I don't necessarily think that we need to be putting it on the big screen.
That's fair.
That's just me.
That's fair. That's fine. So yeah, I mean, there's a handful of jokes in it. Like I like the little, how do they know where we're going? It's like they know our every move, and he's got like the turn signal and shit on the truck or whatever.
Right.
Like there's a couple of jokes in there that are funny, but yeah, there's nothing about this that I necessarily was like, I have to go see the Lego movie too. Oh my god! Like I don't know where all that came from, but yeah. So that's my
Yeah.
Oh, but real quick, can we just say that Chris Pratt is the hardest working actor in 2018? I just want to put that out there.
He's in everything.
This is his third big franchise movie this year. He just did Infinity War. Mm-hmm. He has Jurassic World coming out.
Jurassic World, yeah.
And the Lego movie all coming out this year. And I was like, God damn, man. After he divorced Anna Faris, he's like, I'm just going to throw myself into my work and I'm just going to just be in everything. Like, I'm co-starring and all that kind of shit.
He's in beer commercials.
Yeah. Is it Heineken or some shit?
No,
I think it's Labatt Blue or something. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Because
he's just random
he plays
ass
hockey or something in the commercial.
Oh, okay.
So,
I think random ass beer. I was like, whatever. He's like, yeah, I'll take a check, sure. But anyway, moving on. So the Bumblebee trailer.
Yes.
This is the Transformers movies that I thought we were going to get when the first Transformer movie came out.
Okay.
Because this feels like it's an adult movie with kids since they Spielberg this shit.
Yep, they did.
Which is funny because Steven Spielberg was an executive producer on all the Transformers movies, but none of them ever felt like a Spielberg movie, except for kind of the first one did a little bit.
No, like Michael Bay stood out on every single one of them.
The only reason I say the first one a little bit is because that sense of like childlike wonder was in it. It was like, what are these things you learned about what the Transformers were for the first time?
Yeah, they made him weird though.
Like the scene where now it's actually Decepticon that does this, but the scene in the first one where they all come from space and they crash on Earth, and the one crashes into the little girl's pool, and he gets out and she's like looking at him and shit, like that is what felt Spielberg-y to me. Is
right.
Like, having that amazement and wonderment. Like this trailer feels like it's going to be more of that, and I even made the joke about it, and I think a lot of people have already pointed this out. They basically just remade my Iron Giant. Like, I mean, not taking points away from that, but it basically just looks like fucking Iron Giant, pretty much. Like
with a yellow car.
Basically, it's like they got the military and shit, and you got John Cena running around out here and everything else, and it's like, yeah, it feels a lot like the Iron Giant, which is fine. No, Iron Giant's a good movie.
Good nostalgia.
So I'm like, hey, if I would watch a million Iron Giants before I'd watch one Transformers movie. So if you can make it more like that, then you're probably going in the right direction, because Iron Giant's pretty good. The franchise as a whole, Transformers can be cool. I just feel like they need a different creative force behind it.
I'm going to tell you, like I told you off mic, I like the first two for sure. 3 was iffy. Once you started after Shia LaBeouf, you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, the government hates the Transformers, and they've got them under lock and key.
You got Mark Wahlberg out here pretending to be what is he supposed to be in these? An engineer or some shit?
Yeah, I don't
He's like,
know.
hey guys, I think I just found us a Transformer, guys. I don't know. Mark Wahlberg is like this big, stocky, buff dude.
He's a good action hero.
Yeah,
star.
but his voice does not match his body. He's like, hey, you know, we just want to, you know, just help out Optimus Prime, guys. Like, I don't know what the problem is. Like, it's, if you haven't seen The Happening, the M. Night Shyamalan movie with Mark Wahlberg,
oh my God.
the way he talks in that movie, he's like, no, we would never do that. It is so funny, man. It is hilarious. But yeah. But like you said, though, you enjoy the first couple.
The first one was good. The second one was in that middle ground where you're like, okay, I'm still intrigued. Let's still go with this. And then it had, you know, the comedic Transformers that were in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the hip-hop bots?
The hip-hop bots.
Hey, brother!
Those were cool, you know. Second one, bunch more comedy. That third one, I don't know about that. And then after that, I was done. I was like, no.
I just want.
Although I did like the one that had the dinosaurs. Is that the third one?
That's Extinction.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
I like the third.
Fourth.
Or the fourth.
Yeah.
Feel with the dinosaurs. That was cool.
Okay.
So, like, you really don't know how long the Transformers have been around.
Yeah, but see, that, and again, I like that we're not doing that with the Bumblebee movie.
Yes.
Every Transformers movie is literally a remake of the first movie again.
Sure.
I mean, like, beat for beat. Like, here, I'm going to lay it all out. So, how it starts is something happened a long time ago that nobody knew about, or some people knew about, and now it's coming back, and the Transformers have to deal with that in present day.
Right.
There's some Decepticons somewhere else in space. They come down. They have a big fight in some big metropolitan city. A bunch of shit blows up. Somebody, one of the Autobots will probably die and be brought back at some point, or will thought to be dead and be brought back, and then rinse and repeat. And that's every movie. Like the first movie, it was like you discovered the Transformers. It was like, my great-great-great-grandfather, something with Wiki, was in Antarctica and he found Optimus Prime or whatever.
Right.
Then in the second movie, it's like, no, you don't understand. The Transformers were here during Egyptian times and nobody knew and they did this, that, and the other, and then the Dark of the Moon. No, you don't know. They were on the moon the whole time and nobody knew about it. In every movie, they just keep doing that. And I'm like, guys, how long have they just been here? Just make a date and just stop doing this.
Right.
Like, I don't need you to keep going.
They were here with the dinosaurs.
Right. And then in that one, they were here with the dinosaurs. And it just keeps going and going. And it's just like, guys, okay, enough. And it's like, no, you don't understand. They were at Woodstock. They were the speakers. They were Autobots. Like, oh my God. Like, enough.
I do like the fact that it's a Bumblebee trailer.
Yeah.
Because out of all the, everybody can love on Optimus Prime all they want. The love on Megatron. Bumblebee is my Bumblebee hits me in the heart.
I think he's probably everyone's favorite to a degree. Like everyone likes Bumblebee. He's like the Michelangelo of the Ninja Turtles.
And I think that's why I like him.
Yeah,
so
it's
much,
like everybody likes him. He might not be your favorite per se, but everybody likes Michelangelo. So yeah, that's
Mikey was always my favorite.
Yeah, like Bumblebee's cool like that. And I mean, I like that it's a period piece, that it's not going to be set in like present day or in the future. Like we've had enough of those during now times. It'll be fun to see it set like in the 80s or 70s or whenever it's supposed to take place. They had cassette tapes, so Lord knows.
80s or 90s,
yeah.
I think.
So it's like this has the potential more than any of the other ones to actually turn me around and make me rethink my position on the Transformers franchise. But we had brought up that John Cena is randomly in this trailer too. He looks like he's playing the Josh Duhamel character from, not necessarily like that's that character, but he's doing that role.
type of character.
Yeah, he's the Josh Duhamel or the Tyrese role. It's funny, I forgot Tyrese was in the Transformers movies at a time.
What?
Yeah, see, you need to go back and watch him. Yeah.
How did you forget?
Oh, how did I forget? Yeah.
I would say I know that Tyrese
No.
is in the movie.
Well, just because I associate him so much with Fast and Furious, I forget that he was in the first 3, I think, Transformers movies. So yeah, it's whatever though. But yeah, that is, I think. Any other thoughts on Bumblebee?
No.
She's like, no.
No, can't wait for Bumblebee.
Yeah.
And for those of you expecting a Camaro, there's no Camaro.
Yeah, he's back in the Bug now.
He's a Bug.
Yeah, he's back in the, what are those?
The Volkswagen.
Volkswagen, yeah, Bugs. Yeah.
Volkswagen Beetle Bugs, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, and right before we jump off of this, there was one thing at the very beginning. I liked it, but it kind of rubbed me the wrong way at the same time. I like that the speech that they used from the first Transformers that Bernie Mac tells Shia LaBeouf when he's trying to sell him Bumblebee.
Right.
I like that they integrated that back in from the first movie. I don't like the fact that they're using a dead man's, thing to try and sell this one.
A pre-time.
Right, this is before that even happened, yeah.
And then they're using the speech. But
right, it's like that speech ain't even happened yet. But
maybe it did. Maybe Bernie heard it somewhere and...
Sure, it's been passed down from car dealer to car dealer over the years.
It's in the car dealer manual.
Yeah, they was like, we've never sold this car, but this is the speech that you give when you want to try and sell it. If you could be the one.
I do, I had a little blurb that I wanted to put in there.
Sure.
Unbeknownst to Mike, I just wanted to shout out to my car dealership. They did everything that they possibly could to get us in a car this week, and I told them that I was going to throw a shout out.
Oh, sure. What's their name?
Thalen car dealer. Thalen Jeep Dodge Ram in Bay City.
All right. Well, thank you, Thalen Jeep Dodge Ram in Bay City.
We appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
All right, moving on.
You don't even know how much.
Yeah.
You are a lifesaver. So
hey, they got a giant Facebook message from me, so
sweet.
They know. All right, moving on. Miss Kelly Marie Tran is deleting her Instagram.
Yeah.
And some people might be like, well, so what? Who cares? Somebody took off Instagram. The reason why, however, kind of irks me.
So to give you some context, Kelly Marie Tran, she's an actress. She plays Rose in the most recent of the trilogy of the Transformer movies. The Star Wars movies. Been talking about Transformers for so long, yeah. And The Last Jedi. And as I'm sure most of you know, a lot of people did not care for. Well, it's kind of divisive. There's a lot of people that like The Last Jedi, a lot of people that don't. But I think most people agree that they did not like Rose's character in the movies. Which, that's totally fine. I don't like the character of Rose in the movie. What's not okay is that the fanboys have taken their hate for this movie, for that character, for Rian Johnson, for Disney, for everything. And they have laser focused that shit on the actress herself. Now, I almost titled this episode differently. It almost said, so instead of our show sucks, ? It almost was, and it's time for the fandom to end, ? Which is a play on the line from The Last Jedi where he says it's time for the Jedi to end. I'm almost to the point where I'm over fandoms of everything. I'm getting to that point where I'm just over. Announcement: we're canceling the podcast. Last episode, you get 23 and a bonus one. Episode 0, we're done. No, I don't.
It's like the extreme.
Yes. It's like I don't want to be associated with people like that. I just don't.
You don't have to be rude.
No, it's like harassing someone about anything on the internet is childish and stupid and just morally bankrupt. But especially when you're harassing someone over a fictional character in a fictional story in a fictional universe, it's like you get over y'all shit. I mean, it was so bad to the point where Mark Hamill himself, we are not worthy, bow down to the Savior. Luke Skywalker, the Joker himself, had to come on Twitter with a picture of him and Kelly Marie Tran hugging each other, saying "What's not to love?" And then he's put hashtag Get a Life fanboys, and I was like, "Thank you, man." And I'm like, God damn! And even still, there's still people online just talking shit and defending it. And it's like, guys, if you want to make the argument of you don't like her character, just and the other, fine. But we should all be in agreement that it is not okay to harass the actor or actress because of that.
Right.
Like, why? Like, come on, man. It's like, okay, like if you've ever worked in retail, it's like when customers come in and complain to you about the prices of shit. It's like, I just fucking work here, okay? I don't make up this shit. They say, sell it at this price, that's what I do. If you don't like that shit, take it up with capitalism. I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man.
And honestly, it's not even that in depth. Like, you don't have that much of a conversation. They're like, here you go. This is your job.
Right. Thank you. It's like, man, look, no one's telling me how to negotiate with y'all. Like, it's not a swap meet, all right? It's just like, this is just what it is. But I'm getting this article from Polygon. They said that Kelly Marie Tran, The Last Jedi's breakout star who played Rose Tycho, has reportedly left Instagram because of harassment. It's the latest incident in a long line of toxicity aimed at the Star Wars cast by its fans. A reminder of how loud and unwelcoming the fandom can often be. It's possible that Tran deleted her Instagram because she simply didn't want to be on the platform anymore. Tran has reportedly said that she doesn't like using social media, including Instagram, adding that she doesn't like to be in the public eye, to be scrutinized and judged. Many of the statements were posted on Tran's Instagram account. Those Instagram posts are now deleted, making them impossible to embed. But tweets with screenshots illustrate some of Tran's fears over being such a publicly accessible figure on Instagram. Polygon has reached out to Tran's representatives for comment on the situation, but as of yet, nothing they haven't gotten a response back. But yeah, it's like, guys, you can't.
Weren't they harassing her about her weight or something?
Yeah, her
appearance.
Yeah, it was a mix of her appearance, her ethnicity, her weight, her acting ability, just all kind of shit.
Oh
her
my
sex.
God.
Like a lot of these motherfucking trolls and shit. Like, and I feel bad saying the fans, because people who act like this are not fans.
No,
they're just fucking
they're causing trouble.
Yeah, it's like they're mad at everything that you do in every Star Wars movie, no matter what. These are the same motherfuckers that talk shit at George Lucas for, you ruined my childhood, you destroyed Star Wars with the prequels, yada, 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 which prequels are shit, by the way. But still, it's like, you don't even have loyalty to the dude who created Star Wars. If he does something you don't like, y'all are all over him and shitting on him.
People
and what
just
he
want
does.
a reason to complain about shit.
About anything.
Everything.
And it's so fucking dumb, man. So it's like, we don't know for certain if she left Instagram because of harassment. Probably, but she not only left Instagram, but she deleted all of her shit on there. So it's not like her page is gone. It's still there, but all of her Instagram posts are gone. And it's just like I just feel so bad for her, because I'm like, you don't deserve this shit. And I mean, and people like her who are self-conscious, who don't want to be in the public eye, who don't want to be scrutinized, like, she just wants to do her craft and do what she loves, and at the same time be able to geek out about the shit, because she's in love with Star Wars. Like, she's like, if you could see her Instagram page, it is just covered with Star Wars shit. Now, granted, she's in the movies, so she wants to promote it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm sure that's like, if I had an Instagram, then
sure,
Batman would be everywhere.
Sure,
Ninja Turtles would be everywhere.
Yeah, it's like, hey, granted, yes, I know we do the podcast, so I'm always pushing one giant leap for
right.
But I like it as well.
Right, you do it because you like it, not because you expect something from it.
Right. Thank you to our friends over at Studio. But yeah, no. But I'm not sitting here doing this going like, I need to be getting something, for this. So it's like, she got to do something that she loved, and she still got paid for it. Why hate on her? Like, if you don't like the movies, don't support them. Don't pay to go see them in theaters. Right. Don't go see her movies, but you don't need to.
Don't attack her personally.
Yes, if your ego and dick is that little that you need to make yourself feel big by harassing a total stranger who does not know you, and you were just a name behind a keyboard, then fucking kill yourself. Okay, maybe not necessarily that strong. I know, but I feel strongly about this. That shit bothers me, because in our travels of podcasting, I have caught some of my fair share of shrapnel for shit.
Sure.
Nothing crazy bad. People have called me a dumbass and all kind of other shit. Sure, whatever. But I mean, people call me that anyway. So in my normal life, so I mean, that's no big deal. But it's like, don't shit on these people, and don't make these people feel like they can't be open about the things that they like, because they have to fear backlash from people like you. Not you, per se. But
not me.
Yeah, DJ Melly Mel was harassing Kelly Marie Tran. You heard it here first, guys.
No.
So, yeah, pro tip, don't be a dick.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah, and that's really it. Like that, those are like pearls of wisdom, life lessons you can live by. Don't be a dick. That's all. So, anything else that we want to add to the whole ongoing saga of bitchy fanboys?
You know what? You are a minute piece of nothing floating in space. Don't bring somebody down.
Yeah.
Because you got a sour apple stuck up your ass.
I like that. That's good.
That's all I got to say.
Stuck up your ass. That's good. That's good. All right. Well, I think then that is it for the show. So go check us out on Podbean. They are one of the best podcasting apps out there. Podbean's been a leader in the field of podcasting for over 10 years, developing innovative tools for podcasters and listeners. You can download it on the App Store or get it on Google Play. But remember, you can always find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, or really anywhere else you get your podcast. Make sure to show us some love, so go ahead and like, subscribe, rate, review, follow, and all that shit.
And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you just want to say hi, you can always email us at officialoglfg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at Giant Leap, the number 4 Geeks. We're on Facebook, Reddit, Pinterest, Tumblr, and Instagram. All you have to do is search for One Giant Leaps. One Giant Leap for Geeks. There we go. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.